We're back with more Palworld, and today we're actually going to spend some time with our pals. Quite a while ago, I unlocked the egg incubator and the Pal essence condenser, and just now I also unlocked the breeding farm, but even the breeding farm is something that you unlock very, very early on. As early as level 19, with the Pal condenser being level 14 and the egg incubator being level 10. I just never really spent any time with that because I was too busy having fun exploring and looking at other things, leveling my bases up and building different bases. So today we're going to check out what we actually can do with the Pals, and I'll probably find out that a lot of the things I could have done at level 10, I should have done at level 10. Now, let's have a look at the egg incubator. Now, I did change my egg hatching times to 0 in the settings because there's no point for me on a single player world to sit there for hours waiting for things to hatch. So, but I'm more interested in what can hatch from the different eggs. But with eggs, you seem to have different versions as well. You have common, you have uncommon, and then you have the blue, just like with armor weapons, the rare, then the epic, and then the legendary. Let's start with the common eggs and see what we're going to get from them. So this was a Cativa, very good, level 1. I'm assuming this one again will be Cativa, Lampal, or any of the starter ones. Oh, a Dire Howl, actually. Oh, that's nice. I'm assuming they're all going to be level 1. So it's the Scorching ones, maybe Fox Sparks. Oh, a Ruby. That's interesting. And another Ruby. Now let's have a look at the dump eggs. So we have a common dump egg, which gives us a T-font. I love it. Okay, so then we have the uncommon one. Oh, a Crow Gyro. That's the frog guy. And then we have the large dump egg. An Amione. I already have a few of them as well. Now let's actually see what we get with verdant eggs. A herbal, that makes sense. So verdant basically is grass. Okay. Another herbal. And now let's go with the legendary and see what we get for legendary. A Braloha. That is actually a new Pal. A Braloha is a riding mount? Oh, that's pretty sweet. While in your base, increases the egg production speed of Pals assigned to breeding farm by 20%. I think I have normal settings for that, so whatever breeding is, I haven't touched that. So the only thing I did was the egg incubation, so that when we have eggs, we can just immediately hatch them. And we have planting 5, gathering 5, and mining 3. So let's see what the actual huge verdant egg is. An Elizabeth, that's a new Pal as well. This Pal attacks increases by 12% for each Beegarde in the party, and planting 4, handiwork 4, lumbering 3, medicine 4. This is very good all around. Very nice levels as well. And then of course we have electrics, which would be the sparklets and all that. Let's see what we get. A Jolthawk, of course, that makes sense. And here we have another common one. Another Jolthawk. Now, the large frozen egg, like a Chillet perhaps? I mean, it's a rare egg. I don't know if a Chillet would be rare or not. A Sweeper. Oh, yes. They also have the same effect as the Malpacas. The Sweeper gets stronger for every Swee that you have in the party. Now, the Rocky egg, we have some different variations. We have the common one. A Pupperay, and it makes sense. So that's like a ground Pal. And now we have a rare one. Or an epic, sorry. A Dummot. Interesting. So what is a legendary? A Dictoise. Oh, sweet. And the last 2 type of eggs we have is a dark egg of the uncommon rarity. A Capriti Noct. Oh, wow. We fought the alpha version in the last video of this, I think. Large dark egg, so that's a rare version. A Lovander. That is a new Pal. Lovander has Heart Drain. While fighting together, grants the player and Lovander a lifesteal effect that restores 5% of damage dealt as health. That is amazing. And she's handiwork, mining, medicine production, and transporting. Oh, the Digitoys were alphas? Oh, wow. So the legendary eggs are alphas? And the next thing I want to look at is the Pal Condenser, which I believe is where you merge Pals into each other to star them up, to make them stronger. We're just going to start building one right here. Oh, that is very lucky. I think we actually just about made this all high enough. Herbal is in my party, and Herbal restores my life with 30% of my health. I think the blue number is what can increase when you increase the stars. So let's have a look at that. So we're gonna take herbal as a base, and then we can see all the other piles are unavailable for us to take. We can't use any of them. Also, we can't use any of the humans. We can only select other herbals. So I'm gonna select the ones that are obviously the worst. Now, if you want to condense to 2 stars straight away and you want to prepare for that when you start the game, make sure you get at least 13 piles, because you need 1 as a base and then 12 to get it to 2 stars. I don't know if I have to, I think I have 12, but let's pick the bad ones first, the ones with the terrible red passive skills. There we go. And then we need 1 more. And now if we do another 8, we can get into 2 star, but let's do 1 star first. And let's have a look at the stats of my pal. Yes, herbal uses its healing power to restore 36% of the player's maximum health when incapacitated. Cooldown reduction S. I also think his planting went up. I didn't even pay attention to that. So that can increase as well. Yeah, we're gonna check that out now. So we have 36 S or 5, not sure what that means. And then we have 2, 1, 1. So let's condense him again, because I think we do have 8 more herbals. So that's all our herbals gone. Now we are on tier 2. And now we're at 42, and cooldown reduction is M. And we're now gathering level 2 as well. Oh, and I'm an idiot. I could have selected straight away from my party setup here. I didn't need to take him out of the party and put him into my stack here. So yeah. Anyway, so now we need 12, and then I'm assuming we need probably 20. So we need to get at least another 12 herbals to get the herbal to the next tier. Now next I want to have a look and see how breeding works. Wow, those guys are huge. Now I want to stick with the herbals in this case for breeding, because I would like to condense my party herbal more to get more healing. So I caught a few more herbals, and this male one has quite a few interesting passive skills, just some which are just positive passive skills, but you know, might not be the best for herbal. But philanthropist is when assigned to a breeding farm, breeding speed is increased by 100%. Now that is obviously very useful. Now the best female I have is either something with nothing or dainty eater. So dainty eater, and the reason I'm picking dainty eater, it's not because it's of any use or any good, it's just I want to see how it works with the eggs, if any of the passive skills are handed over to the eggs, to the offspring. Can I assign them then to the breeding farm here? Yes. Okay, so herbal. Oh, look at those guys. They actually walked up. That is amazing. And now they're just working. Boom, chicka, wow, wow, baka, baka, boom, boom, the bang, bang. That's just the noise they make when they're working. Okay, it looks like the guys are done. Not enough cake. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna have to put food in here, I assume. Okay, let me have a look at cake. There's 2 cakes I can unlock so far. The mushroom cake. Place it in a chest at a breeding farm to make pals lay a particularly healthy egg. The talents of the resulting pals will grow slightly more easily. Oh, okay. And then we can make a vegetable cake, place it in the chest at a breeding farm to make pals lay a particular healthy egg, lay eggs twice at once. I think that one is, oh, we don't have tomatoes and lettuce, but that one would be really good, obviously, to make like pals quickly for condensing. So the only cake we can make right now is the mushroom cake. Oh, we also can make already a basic cake, which I didn't have to unlock the tech tree, hence I didn't see it there, which allows pals to lay just a particular healthy egg, so nothing special. Let's make 3 cakes. We got a few cakes now, but I'm only gonna put 1 in just to see how long that lasts. Oh, they eat it straight away, and then they're breeding. So let me put in the other 2. How much cake do they need? Oh, they already made an egg. Oh, okay, so they need a cake per egg. Now, is that egg guaranteed to be a herbal? It is a herbal. Ace swimmer, philanthropist, and shabby. So if we look at this, ace swimmer and philanthropist came from the dad, and the mother didn't give anything. So I wondered, can it only be the yellow ones that can be inherited? Oh, this one got everything from the parents. That is crazy. And it's a female. So do they stack? So I know it sounds unethical, but if I put this female in now with this male, so I take this female out and put this female in, that means both of them are philanthropists, and the speed in which the eggs are bred should be now much faster. Yes, it is weird, but technically that breeding should be much, much faster now than before. It was just the mom and the dad, where only the dad had the philanthropist. Yeah, I just looked back at the footage that I recorded was the previous breeding cycle, and the actual increments per tick are larger. And I'm assuming now that the eggs that we get now, because both parents pretty much have identical passives, the chance of the eggs having those philanthropist passives and everything is very high. Yeah, there you go. Oh, Musclehead, Wellness, Philanthropist again, and new ones. So they're not necessarily all the same. As we can see here, we have Wellness Watcher, Philanthropist, and Musclehead. Meanwhile, these guys have Wellness Watcher and Philanthropist, but Musclehead was a complete random one. So let's focus on the ingredients for the cakes. We need eggs and we need milk if we just want to use the bare bone cakes. Now flour, I'm just crafting that. We have thousands of wheat, so that will be fine. Egg and milk, I now have in my base Mozzarella and chickpea, both assigned to the ranch. Currently I'm sitting on 36 eggs and 186 milk, so we're going to let this work away while we figure out the honey situation. Now earlier on we got Elizabeth and an egg, and she mentioned Beegardes. Beegardes are the ones that can make honey on a ranch. So there's two things we can do. One is to go and find Beegardes, which we're going to do obviously. And another one is to hunt down Cinnamoth. Now, I know where Cinnamoth are because I captured some, and capturing Cinnamoth will give us honey, and butchering them also gives us honey. So we can double dip. I make a little bit of room. We capture them, get the honey, butcher them, get more honey. But we also want to maximize that. And to maximize that, we want to get ourselves a blaze howl. And luckily, there's a dungeon we can fight a level 31, which should be no problem, with given that we are level 50 and all our pals are over 40. Oh, very good. I like it. This is going really well. So let's just see if we can capture it straight away. That was not even a challenge. I love it. Excellent. Now we do need a saddle for Place Howl, which you get at level 33. So we're gonna unlock that. So we're just gonna queue up the saddle, and once we make the saddle, the partner skill unlocks. Grass pals drop 40% more items when defeated. Now this can obviously be raised when condensed, but right now we only have the one. 40% is not bad, and Cinnamoth is a grass pal that drops honey. Now if we go here to the ancient ritual site, we usually find a lot of Cinnamoth flying around. There's one here. Now before we capture it, let's drop our Blaze Howl so that we don't have him in our inventory. And now capture the Cinnamoth, and with the raids I'm having, I get 2 honey. And now when we have Blaze Howl in our party and we capture another Cinnamoth, we get 3 honey. But not only that, now that we caught one, I made some room here. I can summon Cinnamoth, and then I can butcher Cinnamoth, which then results in me getting another 2 honey. So doing that with Blaze Howl, I can get 5 honey instead of 4, but of course once you condense Blaze Howl, you're gonna get a lot more honey, and that is like basically optimizing you getting those resources manually. A better option of course is to capture a Beegarde. Ooh, there's one right here, injured. Oh, he's dead. The war sects took them apart. Oh, they explode? Capture quick. Yes. Okay, he didn't explode. Let's see if we get him. Nice. And another way to get the Beegardes is through breeding. Now some of the pals you can get quite early, like the Lambal or the Cativa, but the ones you have to breed with can take a little bit longer. But one of them is Vanworm, and if you breed Lambal with Vanworm, you can get a Beegarde. And this is the early areas where you can find Vanworm. Now my Vanworms were between late level 20 and early level 30. So I did need the hyperspheres at that stage. So let's assign our Lambal and our Vanworm to the breeding farm and let them breed. Let's check out the egg. And it gives us a Beegarde. And now we can assign the Beegarde, chickpea, and mozzarella to the ranch. And now we get honey, eggs, and milk. Now, whether you're collecting eggs in the wild or you're using a breeding farm, there is things you can do to optimize how many eggs you get and what quality of egg you get. Now, in my party, I have 3 pals, which influence the number of eggs I get or the quality of eggs. Grintail has the ability to increase the chance of receiving an extra egg by 50%, being able obviously to increase that chance if you condense Grintail. Then we have Broncherry. Broncherry gives you a 35% chance that the egg you're about to pick up is an alpha egg, and that is the base chance, again, can be increased with condensing. On top of that, even though this does not stack, there is another version of the Broncherry called Broncherry Aqua, which gives you a 45% chance of the egg you're picking up to be an alpha egg, which in total is an 80% chance, and that's without condensing. Now, the Broncherry you can find in these areas here, and the Broncherry Aqua, again, I got that with an egg, can only be found in this area here, and this is pretty high level, so early game or early mid game, you're probably just gonna end up with a Broncherry. I think the Broncherries are between level 29 and 35, depending where you find them. They're rarer here, they're more condensed here, and this is where I found them mostly around the mid-30s. Another pal I just want to mention is also a pal we got from a random egg that we found in the wild, and that is the Braloa, that increases egg production speed of pals assigned to breeding farms by 20%. So if you have Philanthropist on both of your pals plus this pal in your base, it's gonna become very fast. Again, can be increased with condensing. While I got the Braloa in my egg that I found in the wild, you can get them in these areas here. However, I did a little test flight to see how many I can find, and they're very rare. Down here, I couldn't find a single one, so after about 15 minutes, I gave up and went up north, and I could find 1 here and 2 here, but again, very far spread apart and very rare, and also around in the mid-30s. Now we're going to test our egg setup, and for that I'm going to use the Grintail, because the Grintail is the one that gives us a 50% chance to get a second egg, and I really would like to condense the one I have to increase that chance even further. Now the 2 guys that are in the farm here that don't have any Philanthropist skill, they're just benefiting from the 20% from the Braloa. Let's put in the cake. Now we're just going to have to wait a bit for them to generate all the eggs. And now we're going to check this party composition. So having made saddles for all of these is required for those skill effects to take place. So here we have 35% chance of it becoming an alpha egg, and here we have a 45% chance. That's an 80% chance. Now we only have a 50% chance of receiving an extra egg, but as far as I understand, if we get an extra egg and it turns into an alpha egg, if that triggers as well, both of the eggs will become alpha eggs. So my inventory empty. Let's have a look. We have a large common egg already, so that is turned into a huge common egg, and we got 2. We got another 2, this time they're large. 1 huge common egg, but the large one turned into a huge one. So all of these are actually large eggs, and if they trigger, the Broncherry's trigger, they're gonna turn huge. So we have another 2 here that turned huge as well. This one stayed large and was just 1, and this one stayed large. Oh no, we got another huge. So what did we get in total? In total, we got 10 eggs, and I think we only picked up 6, if I'm not mistaken. And out of the 10 eggs, 7 of them are huge, legendary, and 3 of them are rare. Now, all of them should still give us Grintails, but the Grintails should hopefully be alphas. And if we get alphas and they're Philanthropist, that would be amazing. Let's do the rare ones first. Now these 3 Grintail should be just normal Grintails. Here we go, that's those 3. All normal Grintails. Now let's open the 7 legendaries. And they all should be alphas. Okay, none of them got a special passive, so we didn't get lucky with anything, but they're all alphas. And now we can upgrade our Grintail, unless we have one with a better passive, which we don't. So let's take our Grintail in our party and pop in the other ones. I don't think it makes a difference if they're alphas or not when you do this. And now we're at level 2, so let's see how much of a percentage we already got as an increase. We're now at 55% chance. Now we did get ourselves a few more, so let's upgrade our Grintail again and then check what the percentage chance is. It is now 60%, so it seems to go up 5%. So with a 4-star, then it would go to 70%. That is really good. Now, before I started with the Grintail, I did actually spend a considerable amount of time letting our herbals procreate. So we have a lot of herbals here that I can now use to 4-star my herbal. We're now at 60% of restored health if we get downed. Now, I spent a little bit more time breeding some Grintails. I still don't have enough to upgrade my Grintail to the final star, but we're gonna do this now. But I did get 2 alpha Grintails, and that means we don't really have to rely on the Bronchera buffs anymore to get that chance to get alpha eggs. To further optimize this, I also upgraded my farms, and I have some lettuce and some tomatoes growing. So they are here in my fridge now, and that means we can now do the vegetable cake. And the vegetable cake, if I don't misunderstand this, gives the effect that you lay 2 eggs at once. It's a bit weirdly phrased, lay eggs twice at once. So I don't know if it means it uses 2 cakes or it lays 2 eggs per cake. So we're gonna have a look at this now. Our Grintails are basically ready to pop. Let's put in literally 1 single cake and see if we get 1 egg or 2. We get 2 eggs from 1 cake. That is amazing. So we can further duplicate everything. So we're gonna get another 8 eggs here. I'm assuming it's 100% chance. It didn't say anything here about it being a chance. It just says lays eggs twice at once. So technically, after these 4 cakes are gone, we should have 10 eggs here to pick up. And then picking them up with a Grintail in our party, we could potentially end up with 20 eggs. I sent my Grintails on a well-deserved break. They used 5 cakes. That's all they used. And they produced 10 eggs. So we already have double. So let's pick up some eggs. Oh, that was only 1. A huge egg. Okay, so in this case, the upgrade still matters. Now, we didn't get a duplicate. Here we go. We got a duplicate. And we got another duplicate. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eggs after we picked up 4. So we only got the duplication triggered once. Okay, here it is again. Didn't trigger here. Didn't trigger here. Not here. And it didn't trigger here. That is a very low 65%. So how many eggs do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12. So out of 10 eggs, we got 12. So when they stay large, they're only rare. And that does not give us an alpha, is it? So let me just have a quick look. Yeah, that's not an alpha. So the large ones are still normal. I thought alphas only generate alpha eggs. So there you go. Learned something new. Which means we still need the prawn cherries, which is great. And they're actually procced for the majority of time. So hopefully we're gonna get lucky and we're gonna get a philanthropist. That would be great. Now, we did not get a philanthropist, but we should have enough to upgrade our Grintail to max level. And here we go, 24. And that's it. And that brings up the chance of an extra egg to 75%. So it went from 65 to 75. That is nice. And just for giggles, I got everybody else 4-star that's important for the eggs. And Broncherry Aqua is now sitting at 55% chance of the egg you're picking up becoming an alpha egg at 4 stars. Broncherry is sitting at 45% chance, which in total between Broncherry and Broncherry Aqua means 100%. So every single egg you pick up will become an alpha egg if it not already is so. That's awesome, especially if you're exploring and you're picking up random eggs. You can find some really sweet pals that you haven't encountered yet. We also 4-starred Proloa, which at maximum star increases the breeding speed by 50%, which is an amazing boost if both of the pals that are breeding have philanthropists as well. The craziest thing happened while I was breeding the Broncherry Aquas and hatching their eggs. One of the eggs I picked up duplicated because of the Grintail, but it also became a huge mutated egg. I have no clue what these are. I never seen them before. So this is exciting. So I had to wait and share it with you. So these probably are going to be identical. That's usually what I found the way it works with Grintail. When you get the extra egg, you get an exact duplicate. So let's have a look and see what that huge mutated egg is about. A Sylvagus Immortal Ranchmaster Heavyweight. Wow. A Sylvagus, already 2 stars. Can be ridden while in party, reduces shield regeneration delay by 40% and reduces damage taken by your shield by 71%. We got Immortality, Lifesteal plus 5%, Pal Outer Health Regeneration Rate plus 100%, Attack 15%, and then Ranchmaster Working Suitability plus 2. Now I'm assuming this egg will be exactly the same, because that's, like I said, usually is how it works with Grintail. There you go, another Sylvagus, and it will have exactly the same attributes. Oh no, it doesn't. I thought there would be exact duplicates of each other, but it actually looks like this one has completely different passives. That is amazing. Idiosyncratic. Pal and player out health regeneration rate by 50%. Defense plus 25. Immune to poison, immune to burn damage. Remarkable craftsmanship. Work speed plus 75%. It would have been amazing if they were a different gender from each other, so that way we could have tried to get a perfect 4 passive skill offspring. That would have been amazing. That is crazy. And it's a level 60 saddle with Hexalite and Paldium fragments. We can't even do Hexalite yet. So yeah, this seems to be a more late game mount, especially given that the saddle only unlocks at 60. Anyway, I think I'm going to leave this episode here for today. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you guys had a good time with the episode. If you did, remember to kick that like button in the balls, and I hope I see you guys in the next video. And if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. And I see you guys next time. Until then, as always, viel Spaß and happy gaming.